this is much easier now, where you can do it on your phone. I know that you've been able to do that for a while now. Um, but yeah, I figured I haven't done one of these in a while. It's a Sunday. Most of you are probably on your weekend. It's not the weekend here in Israel, but I work from home, so the weekend is, whatever. Yeah, just want to see if anyone rolls in and we can talk a little bit about the shows that I've been watching, the shows that you've been watching. Welcome to the best channel on YouTube. It's a bit of a stretch, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the shows that I've been watching and some of the thoughts that I've been having about what to do with the Binge Watchers channel. I want to kind of think of ways to maybe put some more effort into it, put some more work into the channel. I wanted to answer any questions that maybe you guys had. We didn't do like a Q&A or anything like that for like a really long while. So I wanted to maybe do one of these. But as I see a few people are rolling in, so welcome everybody. If you have any questions, please just post them to the chat, and we'll try to get to them. What's your favorite show of all time? It's probably a tie between like, I really see it. Doctor Who is probably my fandom. That's the thing that I'm like the. I see myself as like the biggest Doctor Who fan. Like that's one of my passions. But as far as a show, it's probably Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy. I don't think it's the best written or the best directed or even best acted. Like none of that. But I don't know. Sons of Anarchy, just my wife and I, we fell in love with that show so hard, with the characters, with the stories, the arcs. So probably Sons of Anarchy, probably my favorite show of all time. And I did not yet have a chance to check out season 2 of Santa Clarita, but I think I'm gonna binge that this weekend. I'm in Israel, and this weekend is Passover. So that might be a little tricky, but we'll try to make it work. Click that like button, everybody. Hydra X, you're doing my work for me because I'm bad at that stuff. Let's see how my food is coming along. I'm making a shepherd's pie. That's a lie. I didn't make it. I mean, I made some of it, but I'm just taking credit for for it. Yeah. Anyway, so. I've been watching a few shows recently. I've been watching Travelers Season 2. I actually just got done outlining my review for it. And I've been watching Season 2 of Donovan, Ray Donovan. You know something that I'm really, like, I recently realized when someone asked me, like, hey, did you watch Season 3 of Bates Motel? Or did you watch Season 4 of, like, Season 5 of The Americans? Um, I realized I almost always watch season 1 of a show, and then I just kind of quit, or I move on to the next show. I really love, for whatever reason, getting into a new story and then just moving on to the next one, and then maybe years later I come back to like season 2. So I want to make some progress in shows that I already started watching. So I'm watching season 2 of Ray Donovan. I'm really liking it so far. I think I like it better than season 1. And I watched season 2 of Travelers, which it's funny because it's as I was thinking about what I want to say for my review for season 2 of Travelers, I realized that I liked the show so much more than I thought I did as I was watching it, if that makes sense. Because I think that it's like the perfect light, serious show, because it's kind of like the show, it takes itself seriously enough to make the story feels like it has high stakes and all of that, but not too seriously, not to make it feel heavy. So if you're about to have lunch, just like me, and you don't want to watch like a sitcom or something, and you don't want to watch like some super heavy drama like Ray Donovan, Travelers is the show that I would recommend. But I really think that they took a lot of the time travel, no spoilers here, but I think they took a lot of the really interesting time travel concepts and executed them just super, super well. Suggest me some good miniseries. I've been watching Requiem, which is only 6 episodes, is on Netflix now. It's like a horror type of thing. Really interesting so far, kind of weird, kind of out there, but really liking it so far. Let me just check the chat real quick. Oh no, how do I check the chat? Can I check the chat? Check the chat. Can I check the chat on mobile? Let's see what's going on with my shepherd's pie while I'm checking the chat. I think it looks pretty good. Woo! Just destroyed my camera here. Let me just clean that up. And yeah, we're back. All right, I'm gonna have to go to my computer here and check the chat because I can't see it on mobile, which is kind of weird. All right, my channel. But I did see that someone asked about Mad Men. I'm gonna be honest, like I watched season 1. I don't remember why I didn't make a review for it. I watched it, and I can't say that I loved it. It was one of those shows where you're basically just watching people kind of going about their day, a bit like watching an aquarium. I didn't like it was such a weird feeling watching that show because everything is fantastic, like the performances are fantastic, the sets, everything looks great, but I just didn't find the story itself interesting in season 1 of Mad Men. And I did hear that it's one of those shows where you have to watch more seasons to kind of get to the meat of it, but I can say that I loved season 1. Have you watched The Expanse season 2? I have, and I really liked it. I was gonna make a review for it, and then I found that most of what I had to say is very similar to what I had to say about season 1, so I kind of put that on the back burner for now, but I do have a review coming for it. But I really, really liked season 2 of The Expanse. They also did a really great job at taking the already pretty complicated world of season 1 and expanding on it in a very, very interesting way. Any thoughts about Silicon Valley? I only watched season 1 of Silicon Valley. What I can say about it is that it is painfully accurate. I've been working for startups for most of my career. Binge Watchers is not my full-time job, and I have been working for startups for most of my career. And yeah, a lot of what goes on in that show is just, it's pretty spot on. Let's see what else we got here. I always get so distracted doing these. I have to remember not to burn my food. Have you watched On My Block? I have not. What about The Sopranos? Of course I've watched The Sopranos, and of course I love it. It's amazing. I haven't done a video on it because I feel I would have to rewatch it before I can really, like, honestly talk about it on the channel. So I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit before doing a Sopranos video. I was planning on doing a binge watch of it, like season 1 of The Sopranos, to watch it start to finish one of these upcoming weekends. So that's gonna be exciting. All right, let's see what else we got here. The Wire. I did do a season 1 review for The Wire. Of course, it was incredible, and I'm kind of halfway through season 2. And any thoughts on The Good Place? I absolutely adored season 1 of The Good Place. It came out of nowhere for me. I watched it after Jason from Seasoned Reviews recommended it on his channel. By the way, if you're not watching Seasoned Reviews, absolutely go and check out that channel. It's one of my favorite review channels on YouTube. What do you find better, Seinfeld or Friends? Ooh, I don't want to start a controversy here with that. I would say Seinfeld I appreciate, probably as very high quality show. Friends has much more rewatchability. I mean, when it came down to it, my wife and I last night, when we were just like, all right, let's turn off our brains and go to sleep, we saw an episode of Friends, not Seinfeld. That's all I'm saying. Let's do a quick check here. Okay, this looks done. All right, I'm gonna turn this off. All right, let's give this a chance to breathe. Let's take a look at that. I don't know if you can see that in there. That's my shepherd's pie, and it looks amazing. All right. How I Met Your Mother or Friends. I would again probably go with Friends, but that's only because after like season 3 of How I Met Your Mother, I'm not sure. I think it kind of went off the rails, and I think it kind of went too hard into drama territory. All right, and I see. Please watch TVF Pictures. It's an Indian web series, and it's really good. I think I've seen this request before. I'm not exactly sure how I want to handle web shows on this channel, but I'll give it some thought. Because, for example, there's this show from the guys who do Corridor Digital. What is it called? It's like a YouTube Red original, and I did watch it, and I can't say I loved it, but I don't know. It's like it felt weird doing a review for it, so I'll give it some thought on how I want to do these. Let me scroll past some of these questions. Hi, X, you are repping this. Almost at 30 viewers. Let's try to get this to 100 viewers. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for that. Any good recent BBC or British TV shows that I recommend? I mean, recently I'm watching Requiem right now, and the next one on my list is Collateral, which is also on Netflix. Those two look pretty damn solid. I mean, Requiem, I'm halfway through. It's not your typical kind of British crime drama. It's more like psychological horror type of show. I'm digging it so far. I like it so far. And Collateral looks very straightforward. It kind of like, you know, just what you would expect from a British crime drama. But it's one of those, it's kind of like, you know, Broadchurch and Goliath, like these types of shows where the story is not necessarily anything groundbreaking, but it's just done so well that you can't help but love it. That's how I expect to feel about Collateral. I haven't watched it yet, but I would say if you haven't watched River, it's on Netflix. It's also a BBC show, 6 episodes. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. Like, if I'm gonna do a top 5 favorite shows of all time video now, River is probably gonna be on that list. I'm not sure which show to kick out, because the last one of these that I made was like a year and a half ago, but it's definitely gonna be up there. Is the X-Files worth watching? I don't know. I mean, I really did not like season 10, like the new season that they did. I haven't started watching it since it came back again, just because I did really disliked the last, like, it's not a reboot, just I didn't like what they did with it. So currently I'm not watching it, and I'm not super interested in. What is your goal for subscribers this year, Mr. Harnick? My goal for subscribers, that's an interesting question, because one of the things that I've been thinking about is where do I want to take this channel, and how can I take it in a direction that will allow me to grow, and to possibly, you know, kind of make this my thing. Because right now, Binge Watchers is definitely a more of like a hobby I'm very passionate about, more than anything else, and I would love to make it more than that. But I don't really have a subscriber goal, because I cannot bring myself to, because I know what kind of videos get more views. like for example, when I went to VidCon a couple years ago and I met with the guy from Game Theory, MatPat, there was this creator mentorship program. All he could tell me is don't title your videos, season one review, something like that. And it was like, and for me it was like, but I want people to know what the video's about. Like, this is a review for season 2 of Travelers. I don't want to call it season 2 of Travelers will fucking blow your mind. Like, I did that a couple times and I just felt dirty. I don't want to do that. So there are like tricks you can do to get more views, like top 5 videos, stuff like that. I don't know. I just want to have fun talking about TV shows for now. So I can't say that I don't care like about the views and stuff like that. Of course, it's nice to get tons of views, but I don't want to put that above just having fun talking to you guys about TV. All right, let's get back to the questions. What about The Alienist or Counterpart? The problem with shows like The Alienist and Counterpart is simply because they're not on Netflix and they're not on like Amazon Prime, and I can't get to them very easily, and I can't put them on Chromecast, so that's why I'm not watching them. But Counterpart looks absolutely incredible. Like, that's number 1 on the list of shows that I really want to watch right now. So I'm gonna try and find a way to watch that, and if I can't, then I will explore the darker corners of the interweb. Should I watch Arrow? I checked out of Arrow maybe like 3 seasons ago. I liked it at first, but I checked out of it. All right, let me scroll back up through the questions here. What about Black Lightning? Black Lightning, I have to say, I'm kind of liking it. I think they did a similar mistake to what some of the Netflix Marvel shows did, where they set up a really interesting villain and then they immediately got that villain out of the way for a much weaker villain. They did that on Luke Cage, and I'm afraid that is what they're doing on Black Lightning. I only watched 3 episodes of Black Lightning, and I liked it. I liked more than I did any recent episode of Flash. So yeah. All right, let's see. Let's see what else. Where do you find the time to watch all these shows, man? One of the ideas that I had for videos recently was to do like a time management video, like 5 time management tips from like a serial binge watcher, because I don't think that I watch more TV than the average TV show, like the average Netflix fan, right? Because the main thing for me is that there was a point in my life where I felt that there's this thing called paralysis by analysis, where you're not sure what you want to do next, if you want to play a video game or watch a TV show or do some work or like whatever, and then you just end up switching between YouTube and Facebook and Twitter for hours and hours, and that sucks. And then you just end up not doing anything. So there came a point in my life where I just said, like, I will always be doing something. Always be doing something. Like, if you're at work, then obviously do work. If not, always, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm playing Divinity Original Sin 2, which is my video game of choice right now, or if I'm doing a live stream, or I'm working on a binge watchers video, if I'm watching an episode of a TV show. Just always do something. And if you're watching a show, just watch that show. Completely eliminate the consideration of which show should I watch right now. If I'm watching Ray Donovan season 2 right now, then that is the show I'm watching, and I will continue watching it until I finish the season, then I will move on to the next. And that is how you manage to watch more shows. It's not strictly like a TV show thing, but it's just something that I've been kind of managing my time with. And also, put everything on your calendar. Everything you want to do, put it on your calendar, from working out to watching TV shows. Put it on your calendar and it will happen. All right. Have you watched One Piece? I have not. What is your favorite superhero series? That's a tough question. I really like season 1 and 2 of The Flash. I really like season 1 of Daredevil. Season 1 of Daredevil, I think, is probably my favorite one out of like the bunch. I really want to get back into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I was not a big fan of season 1, but a lot of you have been saying that season like 2 to 5 are great. So I'm gonna check that out. My favorite anime, I really like Attack on Titan, and I really like Tokyo Ghoul. I've been watching Devilman Crybaby recently, and it is just batshit insane. Some of it, it's kind of like, is Netflix the right website for this? Like, I can think of another streaming website where some of this might also find a home, but I've been liking it so far. How about Grey's Anatomy? My wife's a big fan of Grey's Anatomy. I've watched quite a few episodes of it with her. I can't say I'm a fan, but it's one of those shows where whenever I sit down and she's watching it and I'm watching an episode with her, like, I can't help but ask questions like, so what did she do to her? And what did this guy do? Like, oh, so he broke up with her. It's like you can't help but wonder what led up to whatever is happening. I'm so bad at this, just jumping around between these questions. Hydra is saying, do some amazing sick moments on TV, most badass characters. Yeah, I mean, those types of videos will for sure get more views, and I should do them to just, to grow the community more, like top 5s and, that kind of stuff. I just never want to do them if I don't have like something actual to say. I don't want to just do the video to try and make it like a bigger video. Because I'll give you a good example. If you check out my most viewed video on this channel, which is my What Went Wrong with Season 10 of Doctor Who video, that is like my most viewed, most liked, most disliked, most commented video on this channel. And if you go into the comment section of that video, it is toxic. It is not the binge watcher's spirit of like, hey, we're just here to enjoy TV shows, and it's fine if someone didn't like the TV show that I like. It's fine, who cares? Let's just kind of talk and have fun. That is not what that comment section is about. It is toxic, and I have checked out of it. So a video that gets more views or makes a little bit more money, not always worth it. All right, let's see. Your thoughts on Iron Fist? I dislike Iron Fist. I think it was a bad show. I think it was probably one of the worst Netflix originals. There was another Netflix original that I watched that was really bad, which was Gypsy. I only watched like 2 episodes of it and it was like too much. Didn't like it. Favorite sitcom? Favorite sitcom currently, I can't say of all time, but currently probably New Girl and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Those two are probably my favorites right now, as far as, just like a short, like funny thing. How is the Battlestar Galactica retro watching going along? It's going well. I mean, I'm really enjoying that show. Battlestar Galactica, I'm just having so much fun with that show. It's just, I don't know. It does so many things right, like the things that I like about sci-fi. I'm still watching season 2 though. I'm not binge watching it, so it's like a one episode here and there. Why are you ignoring my 50 questions? I am not. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up. Let me scroll back and look through those questions. All right. Flash Season 3 or Legends? Legends of Tomorrow I wasn't a big fan of, so I'm going to say Flash. And just post those questions again, and I'll get them. I promise. Should I watch Walking Dead? Of course you should watch Walking Dead. Everybody watches The Walking Dead. I mean, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of The Walking Dead, but it's kind of like one of those shows that you just kind of have to watch, right? Just to talk about with everybody. My wife and I watch The Walking Dead together occasionally while we're eating, and it's mostly a hate watch at this point. We just like we watch and we complain. It's just like it's so much fun. Someone asked, "What time is it for me?" It is 2:17 p.m. right now in Israel, where I am. What do you think about Legion? I don't know why I didn't make a review for Legion. I really liked it. Is it difficult to answer 30 questions at the same time? It is. I mean, it's not difficult because I can just get to each question and then, kind of, and then just kind of talk about it. But I don't know if it's interesting for you guys to just kind of watch me hop around between TV show my brain is not working just between questions. I never know how to handle these live streams. But what I am interested to hear you say is if you ever watched one of the binge talkers episodes that I made where I had another person and we both just kind of had a conversation about TV. I think I did like 2 or 3 of those. Would you be interested in if I live streamed one of those? Let me know. And also I had some questions about like doing a watch along on Twitch or something. I'm not sure the logistics of that. And also like Twitch scares me. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. Hydro is asking if I will ever have a kid. The answer to that is yes. My wife is pregnant with twins. So that is a thing that is happening in my life. And I'm going to be a dad. And I'm going to have 2 little binge watcher babies. And yeah, I don't talk too much about it on binge watchers because that is an example of something that will only be for like, hey, watch this video. I'm going to be talking about babies. It doesn't have anything to do with TV shows. But I was thinking about talking about that more in depth on my second channel. All right, let's see. I see that there are questions that I'm just not seeing. Thank you for all your... There goes binge watchers. No. Binge watchers will survive. Binge watchers will be fine. Do not worry. The worst case scenario, binge watchers will take a little break, but there's still a while before the twins arrive. But don't worry about it. TV show recommendations. Yeah, that's what this whole channel is about. Definitely, I would currently recommend Ray Donovan, that I'm a big fan of right now, having a lot of fun with that show. Travelers, season 1 and 2. Requiem, I'm watching right now, having a lot of fun with. As far as, kind of, it really depends on what you're looking for, what you're in the mood for. Tell me a little bit more about that, and and maybe I'll be able to. Yeah, the police is after me. They're gonna get me. Tell me a bit more about what type of show you're looking for, and maybe I'll be able to provide a better recommendation. Game of Thrones or Vikings? I don't know if this is gonna piss people off, but like Vikings all the way. It's kind of funny that these shows are being compared at all because it's kind of like any show with a sword in it gets compared to Game of Thrones, and it's such a different show. But as far as which show do I like better, I like Vikings. I like Vikings way better than I do Game of Thrones. Thoughts on Mayans? Mayans is the spin-off for Sons of Anarchy that that Kurt Sutter is making. So it's basically going to be a show about another motorcycle club, and I am cautiously excited about it because I can't say that the stories with the Mayans on Sons of Anarchy were some of my favorite stories of that show, but I don't know, just like more like I have in my head an idea of the spin-off Sons of Anarchy show that I would like to watch. But I can't say it. Like, I can't say what it is because that would be an immense spoiler. I see a question here in Hebrew asking, what is the worst show ever made? I don't know. I can't tell you because I don't watch, like, if I watch a show and, if I watch a show and I don't like it, I just stop watching it. I don't like, except for The Walking Dead. That's the only show that I think that at this point is not great, and I keep hate watching it, but just because my wife and I have fun with it. So I guess that in itself says that there's a lot of enjoyment to be had with this show. So I can't answer what's the worst show. Someone says make a Patreon. You know, I was thinking about it, but then I felt like, how could I ever ask you to contribute money where it's not like, it's just, we're just, you know, like a bunch of people talking about TV shows. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. What do you think about Supernatural? I think Supernatural is great. I think Supernatural is a show that knows how to treat its fandom well. I checked out of Supernatural around season 7, I think, but I did watch season 1 through 5. I watched all of it, and I had a lot of fun with it. And then I kind of watched an episode here and there. It just became too much for me at some point. Too many episodes, too many meta things. It became very much about the fandom more than about the show, which is fine. I have a lot of respect for that show, but it's just like, any show that goes on for like more than a certain number of seasons will start, I guess, declining in quality. Even my beloved Doctor Who, it's a bit different with Doctor Who because it gets like almost completely rebooted whenever we have a new Doctor. Hydra says, Ron, watch Peaky fucking Blinders. I have made 4 videos about Peaky fucking Blinders. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I've made a video for each season, so go and check those out. Ma memir shelcha. Gil, I don't know what that means. Do you mean? I don't know what that means. Thoughts about The Last Kingdom, season 3. I have not yet finished season 2, so can't say. What about Supergirl? Not a fan. I only watched a little bit of season 1. I really liked the character. I thought, I don't remember her name, but the actress from Glee who does Supergirl, I thought she was fantastic, and she was kind of like perfect casting, but the show as a whole, I didn't like it. This is the first live stream ever where I just cannot keep up with the chat, so I do not know how to handle it. Why is Black Sails the best show of all time? I don't know if it is. I only watched season 1 and I liked it, but I can't say it was the best of all time. Can you do reviews on each season of shows you watch? Probably not, but I'm trying. This is what this channel is about. Thoughts about Mr. Robot, one of the best shows currently on TV. Will you watch the new season of The 100? Yes, I will. Favorite animated shows? I don't want to like suck and just say Rick and Morty and be super obvious, but it's probably Archer and Rick and Morty, probably my favorite animated shows. I have not checked out Adventure Time yet, but I plan to, and I'm pretty sure that I'll love it. And I haven't watched Steven Universe as well. And as far as I see that a lot of you are asking about movies, I do not, it's not like a time thing. I don't check out like too many movies. I did watch, I think the 2 most recent movies that I watched were Annihilation, which I really, really liked. I thought it was like a really refreshing movie. I do have a lot to say about Annihilation, but I don't want to take up the time here to do it. And I watched Gerald's Game on Netflix, which I also was a big fan of. And I watched the also Netflix movie. You can see where I watch most of my movies. I watched Black Panther, which was okay. I mean, it was, I guess, talking about Black Panther I thought was great, but I mean, I can't talk about it without going on a rant about Marvel movies in general, so I'm not going to do that right now. I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the better Marvel movies recently. There was also that movie, another Stephen King movie, 1922, that I watched purely because I'm a big fan of Thomas Jane. And it was like I was a little bit disappointed by it. But Gerald's Game is really good. I really recommend Gerald's Game. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. When will you watch Utopia? To be honest, probably next time I get on a flight is when I will watch Utopia, and I will put it on my iPad and watch it there. All right. Ron, watch Fargo. It's very good. I have. I watched season 1 and 2. I made videos about them and I absolutely loved them. Have not watched season 3 yet. Are you waiting for Lost in Space? Not really. I mean, I like from the trailer, I didn't like it so much. I don't like the fact that it's a remake or a reboot. It's kind of like I would much prefer if Netflix just made an original sci-fi. I don't like the fact that it's kind of like a reboot of something existing, because it's kind of like the trailer. Oh, it says Danger Will Robinson. Hey, they said the thing. They did the thing. I don't feel that they need that. They could have just made a new IP, a new sci-fi show. So it could be great. It could be incredible, but I don't know. It's like I'm not super excited about it. What's your favorite season or character of Peaky fucking Blinders? Peaky fucking Blinders. Definitely Michael and Arthur are my favorite characters of Peaky Blinders. I absolutely love those characters. And my favorite season, probably season 2, I think. If I remember correctly, I really loved season 2. Which canceled TV show would you see return? Obviously Sense8. Come on. Sense8 should have never been canceled while Iron Fist is allowed to exist. A few people saying wubba lubba dub dub. Did I watch Peaky Blinders with captions? I did. I watched it with English subtitles. I watch most of my shows with English subtitles. That's just how I'm used to doing it. Woo. A book that should definitely be a show. You know, I'm a big fan of the Warhammer 40K books. I have a few of them here. You might be able to, I don't know how well you're able to see this, but I have a few of these Horus Heresy books. I would love to see a show based in that universe. I don't know. And also one of my favorite books of all time is called Spares by Michael Marshall Smith. It's like a pretty out there sci-fi story. I really recommend it. They did make a movie that is based on this story. I didn't really like the movie, but I think that could be a good basis for a show. Gil, I'm not sure I understand your question. Ma memir shelcha. If you're talking about like which like TV device or what do I stream on, like I don't have cable or anything. I just have my TV and there's Chromecast attached to the back of it, and that's how I watch most of my shows. And this is a Nintendo Switch. TV provider, yeah, no TV provider. I just use Netflix and I stream on Chromecast. Have you watched This Is Us? I have not. My wife is a huge fan of that show though. So I'm probably gonna watch it at some point. All right, I'm gonna get back to these questions and I'm gonna scroll back and see what's up. Will you do Lucifer season 2? Probably not, to be honest. I watched like 5 or 6 episodes of season 2 of Lucifer and I feel I'm done with it. What's my wife's favorite show? It's the same as my favorite show. It's Sons of Anarchy. But there are a lot of shows that we kind of that we like. She really likes right now. She's watching Chicago PD, and she's watching Station 19, which is like a spin-off of Grey's Anatomy, and I think she's liking that. And she recently watched The Path, which is the Hulu original, and she recommended that to me and said that I should definitely check that out as well, and I will. HBO or Netflix? Well, I mean, Netflix is just more accessible, isn't it? So I'm gonna go with Netflix. Have you watched On My Block? I have not. Have you read Ready Player One? I have. You know, an interesting thing about Ready Player One, I didn't read it. I listened to the audiobook, which is narrated by Will Wheaton, and I thought it was absolutely great. I loved it. And then I picked up the physical book and I started reading it, and I was like, this is terrible. This is written like, I don't know, like someone in the eighth grade like wrote this. And it's crazy how much better that book works when it's someone narrating it to you, because then it makes sense. Like the type of speech that the main character has makes sense. And when you read it, you can't help but thinking this is some really low quality speech, like the way that he talks. And the book, if I remember correctly, it's like it's all in the first person. So it makes perfect sense, because it's not like this is how the author is writing, Ernest Cline. It's more like this is how this character is thinking. But in the voice of Will Wheaton, it was great. When I read it, the physical copy, I didn't like it. I haven't watched the movie yet. I don't plan to. I didn't like anything I saw about it in the trailers. I don't expect to like the movie. One of my favorite books growing up was Ender's Game, and then when I watched the movie, and also The Giver, because we studied that book in English, and then it was just like, I mean, when I watched the movies for those two, I was like, okay, I'm done with these adaptations for books I really like. Do you like reading comics? Every now and then, yeah. I recently read Daredevil comic that I really liked. I can't remember his name though. All right. What were your thoughts about the upcoming Watchmen show on HBO? I was not aware of that. That sounds like it could either be incredibly amazing or amazingly bad. I'm gonna be honest, we're gonna have to wrap this up pretty soon because I forgot that I have a thing that I have to do in a little bit. Do I watch the Joel McHale show? I have not. Is it any good? Do you like it? Did you watch it? Ender's Game, brilliant book, mediocre film. Yes, I agree. And I have Ender's Shadow here waiting on my to-read list. Is Mad Men worth a watch? I talked about Mad Men a bit earlier in the stream. I only watched season 1, and it was like everything was great. The performances, the sets, everything was great. The story I just didn't find very interesting, but I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm gonna watch season 2, and maybe it'll change my mind about it. But I wasn't a big fan of season 1. But everyone I know is telling me how much Mad Men is like one of the best shows ever. And thoughts about Riverdale, I have not watched it, so I do not know. Do you recommend it, Riverdale? Don't you have to know that Archie comics in order to get what's going on there? Yeah. How many TV shows do you reckon you have watched? I don't know, but you can go ahead and follow me on TV Time, where I try to track all of my shows. So, yeah, you can do that there. Have you watched Spartacus? I have. I made a video about it. I liked it to a certain point. There was one season of it that I absolutely loved, and afterwards it was like, okay. I don't know what I had planned for this stream. I just wanna tell all of you that this is so much fun. Like, binge watchers has just been such a weird experience for me. It started when I just wanted to make some videos by myself because I didn't want to rely on other people, and I and I wanted to feel productive while watching TV shows, but it just turned out to be such a fun community of people. And if you want to keep chatting, I also want to remind everybody that we have a Discord server that is, it's not like there's no paywall or anything. It's absolutely free. You can just go to the link. It's in the description of every one of my recent videos. You'll find the description. You'll find it even in the description of this one. You can join our Discord server, and we just chat about TV there. A few of you have been asking about The Alienist and Counterpart. I have not watched those yet. They are on my list, and they both look great. But yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and chatting with me. Would you want this to be a regular thing? Like maybe we can do a live stream every Saturday or every Sunday. I would be happy to do that. This one was really just kind of like an improvised type of thing. All right, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. That's awesome. Oh no, everything froze. Oh no, what happened? Everything froze. Can you still hear me? Everything froze. I don't know what's going on. This is really weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on because I was looking at my own stream and it looked like it's just like the Oh man, this is so weird. I also like that it froze in just like the most flattering possible frame. All right, I'm gonna try and figure this out, so I'm gonna wrap up. Thank you so much for joining the stream. We will definitely do this more. All right. Yeah, I will definitely go live more often. This has been a lot of fun. So I'll only say keep binging, and I'll see you next time. All right, see you, everybody.